But imagine US is like, we need you, Japan. We'll support you. Then they give them some bombs. Then reverse it.
Got you. We've been waiting for this moment.
Finally, gain their trust.
Reverse Uno, bro! Welcome back to Yamcha Sessions VeryFastOne VFO. My name is John. We will do introductories because everybody says we don't do enough introductories, so maybe we go one by one.
Hello, I'm Arina, or you can call me Pizzarina.
Okay, I'll save the best for last.
MJ.
MJ is back.
You already know.
Yeah, MJ is always around. And today we have a special guest. We have Irina's husband. Can say husband,
Wow.
married you, right?
Yeah, husband.
Kevin, you right?
Hi.
Yeah.
Hello.
So welcome on the podcast, Kevin.
Hello.
First time.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Pleasure. Today, we will be discussing about Venezuela.
Yeah, we're gonna give away our V card, eh?
Bro, do you think of these punchlines before the pod? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, but it just came to me, before you were telling your stories earlier. Yeah.
Oh shit, bro.
V,
I love it.
Venezuela.
I love it. Every time there's always a punchline. I love it.
That's too, man.
Yeah. Okay.
Training.
So basically, we all know it's a sinking ship or has a ship that has sunk by now, right? I heard second worst economy somewhere on a video recently.
Well,
I
I mean,
watched.
more like what happened, getting
What
captured and all that, right?
So maybe MJ, because you are, I think, the
Yeah.
most articulate when it comes to this sort
Unfortunately,
of historical.
Sadly.
Yeah. I try.
Why sadly?
That's
Why is it a
just,
sad thing?
Basically, I'm chronically on either TikTok or X.
Okay.
These are my news sources, which is why I know a bit.
Yeah. Well, it's not sad, right?
Yeah.
Or maybe your news is sad.
Let's run with it. Yeah.
Okay.
That I know.
Okay.
that
So
I
what
know
should we
about
know? What should we know about Venezuela?
So Venezuela itself is one of the countries north of the
South American.
South American
And,
continent, you can say.
And you would say
Or
south of
area.
south of Florida, if I'm
South
not
of
mistaken.
Mexico.
Yeah.
So it's like
South of Mexico.
so you have you can pull up a map, right? But you have the US, then after that you
Some
got
would say
Mexico.
it's the same hemisphere of the United States.
Yeah, so
Americas.
there's Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador. So we know like a lot of drugs go into the US because of Mexico.
Mm.
So before they go there they have to go through Nicaragua, Guatemala, and all that. And then before that, there is Venezuela, Colombia, Ecuador, Guyana, things like that. So so Venezuela used to be a pretty wealthy country. They have not been
Used to is when?
This is like before the 90s or 80s even, right? But
that-
historically, at one point you can argue, like go all the way back to the 1800s, maybe they were even wealthier than the US. Because they are Spanish colonies.
Okay.
So in the past, today it's hard to believe, but a lot of places in Central and Southern
Used
America
to be.
are Spanish colonies, and the Spaniards they were the Brits before the Brits, right?
Mm.
So the Brits were latecomers in a way to the Americas.
Oh, I
So
see.
a lot of the early, if you compare like a random US city to let's say Mexico City, for example, Mexico City will look much better. Same with places in other places in
Back in the
South
past, you
America.
mean, like in the 1800s?
Yeah, like 1800s, 1700s. Because I think, Spain was the first one. I mean, you've heard of Christopher Columbus, right? So
Yeah.
Columbus was Spain and all that. So they came 1500s, if I'm not mistaken, or 1453, I think, 1400. So then they came and then they were there earlier, basically.
Oh,
than
okay.
the Brits, yeah.
So that's why it developed earlier compared to the other states, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
and then
okay.
I think Venezuela has a lot of oil. It has
Yes.
like almost like 15% of the world's oil reserve.
That little spot on the map holds 10 to 15%
Venezuela
of
is
the
not
oil.
Venezuela is bigger than Texas, by the way. It's not a small country.
I mean,
but it is. I would say it's like a small, medium country, lah. They're not small.
okay.
Yeah.
But that's 10 to 15% of the world's oil. in
Reserve.
For all
To be
reserves.
specific, reserve.
Okay.
Yeah. So then, of course, recently, in a very stunning military maneuver, the US, in just 3-hour operations, no one lost. They captured Nicolas Maduro, which is the president.
Is he the one that says, come and get me?
Yeah, he's gonna come and get me.
Nice.
I mean, Mila Flores, don't be a coward. And like, yeah, so,
Don't be a coward.
Wow, I like him.
Then I learned coward in Spanish is cobardes or something.
Cobardes.
Right? Something like that.
Okay,
What
okay.
else?
And then of course, then they turn to Marco Rubio, which is Secretary of State. It's like if you didn't know, now you know. That's how. That's how. If you watch the TikTok edit by the US, the White House account, yeah, you go to like a White House TikTok.
I saw a
it's
picture of the current president of the
Yeah, it's like-
Venezuela.
Yeah.
It was just Trump. With a mustache.
Maybe.
There's a joke that luckily like Sarawak or what is not as good. If not, it's gone. I saw the meme.
So why is the talk on Venezuela so important then actually? Like, just 2 weeks ago, everybody was talking about something else, right? Completely different. People were talking about the sacking of Chelsea's manager, the sacking of Man United's manager, and then all of a sudden Venezuela is the main topic in my algorithm.
Yeah, then everybody is like, we have I know of a narco terrorist, his name is Ruben Amorim. Please take him out.
But why is this so important to the US interest?
So this is the one.
Oh, this is the one?
It's FAFO. You see the
What's FAFO?
F around and find out.
No fucking way. That's what it means.
Okay. Where's the?
I'll wait here in Mila Flores.
why no
Don't take
sound?
too long.
Now if you don't know, now you
This is AI Trump. Is it?
Still AI.
No, it's not. It's actual.
Ooh. Wait, isn't that
Venezuela's
Clash of Clans?
ad.
Yeah, it is.
Because I play Clash of Clans. When you-
So what? Okay. I need to backtrack a bit. Yeah. Okay. Maybe my understanding of this topic is not so fresh, right?
Okay.
So first of all, one by one, why did he say come and get me?
I think over the past year since Trump took office, he has always been complaining about how South American countries are allowing a lot of drugs into the US, and then also complain about China, who have almost a monopoly position in producing the key chemical compounds.
To make drugs.
Yeah, basically they
To
are
make
the,
said
they are the
drugs.
Heisenberg, lah, right? And
Okay.
the
Okay.
the South Americans are the distributors, the Jessies, right?
The Jessies.
Yes.
Right.
Breaking Bad.
So obviously it's always harder to get to the Walters, but now he's trying to get the Jessies first, right? So of course so he claims the three big culprits is probably Mexico, Colombia, and Venezuela. So with Venezuela, there's one additional because that they are quite communist. So if you have a communist inside the American hemisphere, people
It's
don't like to say
unacceptable.
that, then it's like you are target number one. Lah. So then there's also the question of oil.
That's exactly what I was going to ask. Is it because of
Yeah.
oil? But then if it's oil, then why now? You know
Well,
what I
the
mean?
first thing people don't realize is that you can actually do things for multiple reasons. You don't need to do things for one.
Yeah.
So the thing with the whole narco terrorist accusation is that Venezuela actually is responsible for quite little of US drugs. But it's a very important designation because legally, according to international law, you cannot do what the US just did, which is to
Go to another country and,
and
take
take
the prime
people's
minister.
head of state, right? But they were in classic American fashion. They found two like legal loopholes. The first is that they designate him as a narco terrorist. So he's not merely a president; he's also a narco terrorist. The second thing is, based on the recent election, is it 2024 or 2025? I cannot remember. Nicolas Maduro actually lost the election. But
What?
somehow he managed to turn it around and then he kicked the lady out. I cannot remember her name.
Oh yeah, she was the teacher or something one, right? I remember. Yeah.
something like that. And so the US said, yes, it's illegal to take a head of state, but he's an illegal head of state. And he is a narco terrorist, which directly threatens the well-being of the US.
Of course, everything is a threat to the United
Right,
States.
so but
I love it. I love it.
Two.
but-
They need two, no? Because if you just accuse him of being a narco terrorist, then they're like, why not you get Colombia? By the way, Trump said, well, he's next, right? The
shit.
Colombian one. And then why not Mexico, right? So you need the second one. Oh, but it's illegitimate. Right? The other two is legitimate. This one is not legitimate.
This one is the illegitimate that state, although he lost the okay.
Correct. So you have the narco accusations, you have the illegitimate government accusations, then you have the oil, right? the oil, they are responsible for almost 20% of the world's oil reserve. And now one of the US's adversary, which is Russia, is going through a war. So they want the war to end, and they think maybe by having Venezuelan oil, they can continue to flood the market with more oil to lower oil prices. So Russia, which is one of the largest natural gas producers, will lower their revenue economy to supply the army.
Oh, wow. That is such a 3D chess thing going on, bro.
But the biggest 3D chess is actually China. So Venezuela has allowed both Russia and China to do stuff in Venezuela.
Bro, you just talk near the mic.
Militarily in a lot of ways. And if you look from China's position, if you can go back to the map, right? One of the things they never liked about the US is the fact that they are in the backyard. So we can go to China.
Okay, wait, what do you mean then? Who Venezuela is in the backyard of the United States?
No. So you go to China. So you just zoom into like South China Sea area. So there are tons of US bases all around.
Yes.
Like Philippines. Well, they recently opened in Philippines. Taiwan, there's no bases, but the US are fans of Taiwan, South Korea, Japan, things like that. So China has always wanted to have their own Taiwan in the US.
Wow. It's like a reverse Taiwan. So it's like a Naiwai.
Yeah. But the thing is, people have tried it before.
Oh, you gotta talk near the mic. You just bend lah, bro.
People
Use the flexi chair, bro.
People have tried it before. And the Russia tried it with Cuba. That didn't work out.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Now
The
Venezuela
Cuban-
is one of them. But the China strategy is like all over lah. So they try to do it with Venezuela. They're trying to do it with Mexico. They're trying to do it with all Cuba. All these countries, but in a small, salami slice way.
Salami slice way.
Yeah. So, like for example, the one of the jokes was that a lot of the radars that Venezuela had were, like Huawei radars. Like a lot of Chinese.
Oh shit! You mean China plant the Huawei radars?
They sold the radars.
So they sell, but then they go like implant the shit inside the radar because they implant all Huawei phones anyway. So might as well do the satellites.
Because there's this recently there was a quote by Nicolas Maduro, something like, "Oh, we have this unbreakable brotherhood with China," or something like that, right? They're like comrades, whatever.
Oh.
And fun fact, just 3 hours before the extraction happened, or maybe a few hours, there was a Chinese delegation actually visited Venezuela with Maduro and all that. Yeah.
So they concurrent attack.
So
the
when
Chinese guys
the
just
Chinese
watches.
delegations were still sleeping in a hotel, then the US Army swept in 3 hours. They extracted them. So what was very interesting about this operation was they actually studied Maduro's patterns, like when does he eat, when does he take a dump, where does he stay? Because he stays in a military compound. So he wasn't staying like in his mansion or whatever. He's staying inside a military heavily fortified area.
And they still managed to access and intercept.
Correct. So like the first
There's
thing
a
they
spy
did.
lah. There's a spy.
Yeah, so they sent spies to figure out all this information. But then the execution was like brilliant because what they did was they used 150 planes plus ships, right? And they started flying around the area. So they create a noise. So it's like alert, right? So you cannot hear. But that was actually a cover for helicopters to fly below radar to infiltrate the base. So when these guys came in, they were on top of the building that Maduro had. The minute they landed, then the Venezuelans started to fire. But then by the time they started firing already, the Delta Squad, which is like the elite, the Avengers of the US Army, they went down. They just broke up the door and then they tell Nicholas come with us. Then he went up to the helicopter and then bang. So it was this diversion
Tactic
plan. So like when they sent a lot of ships surrounding Venezuela to create all this distraction, they create all these planes flying around, but they don't fire any missiles, but it just sounds. Then in the end, it was the helicopters and the Delta Squad that was doing everything.
And meanwhile, the Chinese guys asleep.
Well, he woke up now. Obviously, he heard it. He probably heard all the explosions.
Pretend to be asleep or really?
美国了，美国。
美国人来了。
Start waving his flag.
我不是他们。
So fun fact. I don't know. I need to verify this. But one thing very interesting is that I don't know whether in response to that or it was already happening. There's a military building. It's a very important building in China called Zhongnanhai. Right. It's like a. It is where it's. I don't even know what. Can you Google what Zhongnanhai is a very important
it
building.
in
It's like
China?
it's a bit like their Pentagon, a bit like that.
Okay.
It's a bit
So
like that.
it's the equivalent lah in China.
Very important building lah. So if I'm not mistaken, in response of that, they stopped on Baidu. You cannot search for that.
No
digitally because of
freaking
that.
way,
Yeah,
bro.
that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
So you can't zoom on Google Map. Like it
There's no
doesn't
Google Map.
exist.
They have Baidu Map.
Yeah,
No.
Zhongnanhai. You tell me Zhongnanhai.
Wow.
I don't know what they are. So anyways, so they don't want China to develop capabilities to develop a Taiwan in their backyard. And if you know the US, that one
They will take
don't
whatever
tolerate.
measures to avoid it lah.
Yeah, you can. Of course, people don't like them. Boomers, right? Chinese boomers. They will say, "Oh, how come the US can have bases here, but not China not have bases in South America?" Of course,
Because
the
of-
Americans will say because we are good guys lah, so we can.
Good
you know,
guys.
That's what they say lah. Anyways, but the big talking point, and there are many talking points. The big one is, in the past, the US would apply international law, and they would apply. They
Some kind of
strongly
soft-
worded. You have
uh.
strongly worded statements to try and influence. They'll use economic sanctions, and they have sanctions on Venezuela, just like Russia. But this marks a big shift in how
This is-
politics is working now.
This is physical, bro.
Yeah, I say we'll do it because we can, and so this will open a door for anyone else.
Bro, actually, if you think about it, right, basically this whole time, it's just imagine like a round table of all the countries, right? And everybody knows that the US, like China, Russia, all these big boys have a lot of guns, but they never really pull out the gun.
Well, it's mainly
Right.
the US actually.
Yeah, and then US basically just walks up next to that country and puts the gun down and points it at them and be like,
So one political
At this point lah.
narrative victory is that when the war started in Russia and Ukraine, the Russian side thought that we're gonna
strong
basically
arm.
be home by Christmas lah. That's the,
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
thing,
yeah,
right? And they just go in special operation. We want to take out Zelensky or whatever, and we are home, right? And then now it's been going on for 4 years.
Is it 4 years?
4 years
Yeah.
with the Ukraine war. Yeah,
COVID.
It's been so quiet.
2022.
Wow.
And
What in the ass,
yeah,
bro?
February, I think February 22. And
It's
then
been
the
4
US
years. It's a whole World Cup.
Exactly.
And they still, wow.
And you have the US just do this in 3 hours. No casualties. I think,
That's
no
insane.
reported casualties.
no reported. But in the US, you can't BS this kind of because the parents of the soldiers or whatever will make a big noise and how can
Or at least no US casualties.
no US casualties. Yeah.
Oh, that one
Not
is a
the
big difference.
reported
lah.
one.
It
Reported.
is a crazy. It was a crazy. The way it was mastered, it was executed. It's almost as if, like sometimes you feel both US media and global media just takes a dump on America and how it's really declining as a military force and everything lah.
But this is
And
just
then
the
they pull this
complete,
off.
yeah, this is some elite shit, bro.
Yeah, and now they're so brazen, right? Like they will ask Trump, like, "Oh, is this about oil? What are you gonna do with oil?" Then say, "Well, we'll see. Yeah, don't worry. China and Russia will get their oil. But we'll be in charge. Like Chevron. If I'm not mistaken, Chevron is in Chevron Energy is in Venezuela. And all
That is crazy, bro.
basically he has stripped away the US mask, you can say. But everyone kind of know that the US has done this and can do this.
That's wild, man.
Yeah.
But
Basically, like the charade of like, okay, I shake your hand, you shake my hand, we respect each other, documents are respected, legislation is respected, and now it's just like, okay, I do what I want.
So that's one of like Singapore's biggest concern. They say if you do this, you open the door for big powers.
to do things like that also.
Yeah, let's say if you have a leader in Malaysia that complains about China, what's stopping?
Do you think China would do something like this? Like what the US did?
I don't think so. I think it's so risky for. Let's say if it goes wrong, right? President Xi will be so embarrassed,
Yeah.
right? If Trump gets it wrong,
It doesn't matter.
but he's so thick-skinned, right? And the worst can happen is he just doesn't get elected, or he gets
Yeah.
impeached or
He
whatever.
said
lah.
it's a prank or something.
You could just say, oh, whatever lah.
Just want to test
Yeah.
your reaction.
Yeah. So
Wow.
they can lah. They can.
Do you think Russia would do it? I think Russia would do
no,
it.
Russia will do it.
They were trying 4 years ago.
With who?
Oh,
With
that's
who?
true. With Ukraine lah.
Oh,
But
Well, North Korea did it. Remember, he did it to his brother in
Oh,
KLA.
yeah. Oh shit! He
Yeah.
shot
What
his
about-
brother like a
But this one
dog
is
in the
just
street.
so high profile.
Yeah, this is
And
high
it's so
profile.
it's like no, if I'm not mistaken, people knew about it when Trump announced. You know, usually there's like usually the way it works is that the event happens and then someone will cover, or maybe someone will leak beforehand. Or rumors you come on an X or whatever, and then somebody CNN will report or whatever, and then after that they have to wait for a press conference for Trump to say. This one, the minute it was the White House themselves reported, and if I'm not mistaken, Trump himself reported, guys, I caught Maduro.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, and people are saying that, oh, you didn't go through Congress. And say, why should I go through Congress? Because if I went through Congress, everything will get leaked. So what kind of operation?
Then it wouldn't be a fucking undercover / spy or
Exactly.
Yeah, well.
Exactly. So
Wow,
Yeah.
this is fucking crazy, bro.
it's crazy,
I
yeah.
think the thing to be concerned is the future of leadership.
Yeah. Actually, the thing to be worried is not the US. Because you can have some sort of faith that if you don't complain about, if you don't threaten the US, you can actually complain about the US, right? Anwar shoots on the US, Mahathir shoots on the US, everyone shoots on the US. The US actually doesn't really care. But what they care about is, do you actually have a real threat or not?
Hence the FAFO lah. On
There's
their
FAFO
fucking...
lah. Yeah.
Bro, wait. Can you just go back to that again? That was TikTok. Ah.
Yeah.
And the White
White
House,
House
official TikTok put their FAFO. Ah.
The Clash of Clan comment.
Yeah. Yeah.
What the hell, bro? That's insane, man.
FAFO is what again?
Fuck around and find out.
Wow, they use that word. Is it like
No, they
managed by
just-
Gen Z?
Probably.
Probably.
Social media
Yeah.
doesn't seem like a boomer one.
Wow, that's aggro, bro. That's kind of like your friend, right? That you can't make fun of the whole time, right? And he's like, hey, and then he just fucking like jujitsu strong arm you, bro.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Wait, can I just go back to the? Can you just?
Wait.
Yeah, bro. Really, just FAFO White House official, bro.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a scam account. Where there's blue tick
Yeah.
also.
God damn, man. Actually, I feel a bit afraid, lah.
Yeah.
Like, what is going to happen, man? Like, if they are this aggro and public about it, and people just like react to it and be like 8 million likes, maybe we all are kind of fucked, man.
And bookmark.
Oh, yeah, wow, bro, 500,000 bookmark, bro.
What are they doing with this video?
You know, to be fair, there are many ways to look at it. Right? One, you of course, is now it gives other people who are worse. So this is the president of Argentina, I think, Milei commented. Milei is a big fan of Trump, right? Yeah, so this is Marco Rubio, you know. Milei, yeah. So, I mean, one way you can look at it, I see, this is Maduro's view at 3 a.m., you know.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, America is hardcore, bro.
Another crazy thing was like the Venezuelans were damn happy. So the minute they found out, there were like horns, there was like celebrations on the street.
Also, they don't like this.
Yeah,
they don't
a
like
lot of
this.
them don't like, yeah.
Oh.
Illegitimate.
So it's very weird that a lot of Americans don't like Trump for doing it, but then all the Venezuelans like, yeah, Trump, you know. Yeah.
Wow, he gained new fans again.
Yeah.
Do you think this is going to be a recurring thing in the future?
Yeah, so I was just about to answer that, right? I think there are two ways to look at it. So the first is what you're describing, what Lee Hsien Loong described, right? It opens the door for a lot of other people, Russia, China, to
Because this is
to
the
start-
first shot, lah.
Uh,
Right, you think about it, like you basically, everybody this whole time is a Mexican standoff, right? And people are just like,
well, so that's the thing. So it's not quite, because that's why everyone started goading Russia and China. It's like, oh, look at that, your ally has been,
fucking
you know, yeah, has been, yeah, and what happened to BRICS, man? BRICS are bricking, you know, you know. So that's the thing, right? Because you don't know whether the other two will respond, right? And is it worth it to respond? And it's very different, right? There are some people who say, well, now that Trump does this to Venezuela, China's going to do it to Taiwan, but totally different. Venezuela is like nothing compared. Like, but Taiwan has been thinking about this war since they became a nation, right?
yeah.
They already stockpile weapons. They have, like, they can see from a mile away whether, and by the way, people forget, right? they're comparing these two situations. Trump didn't invade Venezuela. He just went in, took Nicolas Maduro, and got out. That's it.
It's
So
not
he
an
did.
attack.
But on the good side, it's like you don't hurt the people who are like in
Yeah.
what happened in Ukraine, like all the people who are
Yeah.
innocent.
Yeah.
Why don't
Yeah.
you just talk to the actual guy? Like your boss should fight
Yeah.
with each other, not fight with the employer.
Yeah.
That's why
Yeah.
he just
Which I kind of like actually half like okay with this.
So what the Secretary of State Marco Rubio that he's a Cuban guy standing beside Trump just now. He said like, look, I'm a diplomat. I prefer the route of diplomacy. But we've been talking to this Maduro guy for a long time. And he liked to play games. So then we have to let him know that this president doesn't play games. And so they went in and take him out. Well, I didn't take him out. He's going to be tried in New York.
took him.
Okay, so what he did like before that, like he avoid them.
Or basically he increased the poverty rate by don't know how many percent in Venezuela.
Well, no, that's Venezuela's. Right? Why? I think your question is why is it to the US, right? How did he annoy the US? Maybe you can just ChatGPT type in why the US.
What instigated the US? Or
Yeah,
what did he do to
what
instigate
issues
lah?
does
like
Maduro have with the
whenever
US or something?
they try to US try to talk to Venezuela, what Venezuela do? Like what that guy do?
He just smote you
Yeah,
lah.
they help Russia, friends with Russia, China, a lot of things. Let him ChatGPT out. Yeah.
Wow.
Like he just purposely go opposite of.
Yeah. So last time,
Whatever they want.
Yeah. So last time, US president is like talk. So like last time it's 2-1. The US is either talk, or like full scale invasion, like Iraq and Afghanistan. You know.
Yeah.
So that is a dumb way. The Iraq because people die, US will die. And then the other one is just talk, and then everybody
Nothing happens.
US,
Stalemate.
Yeah.
So
NATO lah.
So one thing I don't know whether by design or not is that because for like 2 decades, right, the US are just talking. And so people get the impression that actually
The all talk only.
US are talking.
No power.
No problem.
Talk only.
Then later
And Trump, if you look at now we get to a sense of how Trump thinks. He likes surgical attacks on. So like what if you remember in Iran last year, he also did a
the targeted
surgical
bombing one, right?
Yeah, is that specific
The
bombing.
floor only kena bomber.
Correct. And he also instructs his now we call it Secretary of War, right, to always do it through diversion, right? Or maybe vice versa, I don't know how, right? Like, because in the Iran one, he also did the same, right? They sent like 2 aircraft carriers, close to Iran. So suddenly all your attention's on there.
And then
But really, it
backdoor.
was a B-2 bomber somewhere there waiting, right?
Shit.
To come in and take out. So that's how the US.
It's so strange, right? My algorithm was like kind of leading up to this in a way. So I'm not so sure. Maybe I can't read it. Like just a couple of weeks ago, or maybe even a month ago, I can't really remember now.
The office, right? Yeah.
No, sorry. What date is it today? Just for clarification. Today is the 9th of January, right?
Yeah.
We're recording this. So from what I can remember, the Japanese Prime Minister at the same time also at one point said that, we'll back Taiwan. Right? And at that time, you feel like, wow, why so aggro one, bro? Like, aren't we all buddies in Asia? Like, you also depend on Chinese tourism, right? But she quite firm lah to say shit like that. I don't think it was necessary lah. And then like, maybe she had word, right? Like, low-key Trump is like, hey man, whose side you on?
Yeah. Actually,
Maybe
that's what a lot of people are saying. Like, actually, yeah, will the US back us?
But that the US asked him like, hey, keep quiet a bit.
Yeah,
he was so
maybe.
scared, like, don't chill sis.
Yeah, chill, sis.
He literally said like chill.
So I didn't answer the original question, right? Which is,
Do you think it's gonna-
there are
yeah.
two, right? The first one is what I described, right? How it dominoes into like people doing
Yeah.
this. The second one is that now that the world's policemen start behaving like one, everyone's just gonna just get in line. That's
think
the
so?
other way. It's going to be a mix of these two. But like if I was China, I would get in line. Not
would
not
lah.
to give up your dreams of Taiwan or whatever, but I'm just chill. Now is not if you want to think of it, now is not the time to go.
You want me to read it? I can read it.
Narco terrorism.
Okay, so based on the events of January 3rd, 2026, the United States launched a military operation, Operation Absolute Resolve, to capture Nicolas Maduro. According to the US government, specifically the Trump administration, bro, don't scroll so fast. According to the US government, specifically the Trump administration, during its second term, the invasion was triggered by a combination of criminal indictments, geopolitical strategy, and economic interests. So basically, it's narco-terrorism and drug trafficking. Okay, scroll a bit. Refusal to step down. So it's basically, he's voiding the election lah, and he kicked the lady out, right? Venezuelan presidential election. What's the name? Edmundo Gonzalez as the legitimate winner. Okay. The third is alliance with US adversaries, which is basically China, Russia, Iran. Okay. And control of all reserves, which is kind of odd how it's fourth. But then again, I think honestly, it's more of the third and the second reasoning lah, in my opinion. Basically, you're not following diplomacy, and at the same time, you are sort of siding their adversaries, the enemy lah.
If you know this thing called Monroe doctrine is basically this idea that, you know, if as the US, you must be top down in the Western Hemisphere.
Oh shit.
Okay. No foreign powers can come in. This was done by James Monroe, the former president, and he was talking about European powers. So the UK, Germany, France, Spain, and all that. So now the same thing, they're calling the Donroe doctrine, is mainly targeted Russia and China because Europe is basically neutered already, right?
Yeah,
so yeah, that's a fact.
It's
right?
not. You're not wrong.
That's why the EU responded.
Russia no lah, but
The EU responded to this with we are monitoring the situation. Yeah.
it's quite a neutered way to say things.
Yeah. So what I foresee is that they're going to secure the hemisphere now. So you see, when you don't, there are a lot of people who don't like the US in South America, but all you have to do is to do it to one guy. Right, and then the Colombians, the Ecuadorians,
All
these guys
celebrate
will be
you,
like,
bro.
okay, let's not.
Let's not fuck around lah.
Yeah, that's not FAFO, right? So once they can secure this, then I think they're going to start redirecting their attention to Asia Pacific, really. That's the
You
next,
think so?
Yeah, this is the next round. Really. Because there are a lot of calls. There's this, one of the advisors in the Secretary of War called Bridge Colby, his name. He has been commenting that they are not putting as much effort into Asia to basically curtail China. So the whole strategy of them dealing with China now is not to win a war or anything. It's just to disrupt. All they do is disrupt. Every time they build up something, disrupt, right? Every time they get some sort of victory or some sort of advantage over Japan, Taiwan,
When they
disrupt.
start to
Send more guns, send more, threaten to nuclearize Taiwan and Japan, do
Holy
things like that.
shit.
Yeah. It's to just prevent. Because to the US is, last time Europe was more important than Asia. So they have to make sure that Europe survives and that their key interest in Europe survives. Now, Europe is not what it used to be. Now the
interest is China. It's Asia.
and a lot of the stuff that the US needs to have in terms of their supplies for everything, whether it's chips, whether it's rubber gloves, right? Like a lot of it comes from Asia. And thankfully, because they've built up a lot of friends in the area, so there's something for them to build on, right? Whether it's Japan, Philippines, Taiwan, or even Vietnam.
They have better interests here lah, basically, right?
Correct. So once they settle basically the hemisphere, they'll be coming here already. And especially if like JD Vance or Marco Rubio like replaces Trump as president. So there'll be a continuation of that policy and you'll see a proper pivot. Obama called it the pivot to Asia. He didn't quite pivot properly. This one is a proper pivot one. They're even like in concrete terms, what that means is the US has 11 aircraft super carriers. So if you all know the way the US works is that the crown jewels is they have this
Like a big boat.
You can type a super carrier group. You can anyways,
big
it's
boat.
like the aircraft carrier, and then they have like a lot of this. Is their
Based on the ship.
it's a base on ship, but it's like their crown jewels are the main ones. And historically, they've always had only about 1 to 2 in Asia, and 9 elsewhere. So what I'm hearing the proposal now is the talk is that they should flip that number around.
No fucking way. They put 9 in
so
Asia
super carrier. So they'll be here. Yeah, correct. So they have of course Japan will have the most.
because of
They will
Taiwan.
put, and then they will basically reposition. And,
you- do
and
you-
the same is also true for the submarines. Yeah.
Do you think that is why they basically not make life difficult for Japan when they now start to invest in military funding?
Sorry, what do you mean? I don't know.
Because now Japan has been investing a lot in military funding, if I'm not mistaken. Like
Yeah.
2% of their
Yep.
something like that. I don't really recall the number lah. So because of the World War, basically Japan is not allowed to invest any money into military funding, and only I think last year is when Japan is allowed to do so or something like that, right? Or they are going against it of some sorts, right?
Yeah, so the historically is the US that helps them with the military
Yes.
funding. Not funding.
No, they just military assistance, right?
assistance, right? But whether the Japan can get like nukes, for example, it all depends on the US, or like how much they can increase or cannot increase. Yeah. So
2%, right? Yeah.
correct. So if the US says, yeah, go ahead, please.
You know what's damn funny?
Mm.
I know this sounds kind of weird, lah. But imagine US is like, we need you, Japan.
Yeah.
Please, fund more. We'll support you. Then they give them some bombs. Then reverse it.
Yeah.
Got you. We've been waiting for this moment.
Finally, gain their trust.
Reverse Uno, bro. Shit. Then China like, what?
This whole time.
Taiwan like, fuck.
Yeah, maybe, man.
Yeah, that one could happen lah, right? This whole time,
Yeah.
you know. But at the same time, for me, I damn shooketh lah. Okay, I just didn't expect the world, right, to be this divided. I just felt, right, when I was younger, I'm like, oh, we probably have like a universal dollar. We'll probably all be friends, sing kumbaya, can travel to wherever damn
Wait,
cheap.
the universal dollar income will still come, right? No matter what.
I don't think
That's
so
what I'm
lah.
concerned.
USD as
That's-
a main.
No. I was thinking like what, like a universal currency.
Oh,
yeah, that's
no
what we
lah.
want.
I mean, who
Ah.
will be in charge, right?
Yeah, I don't know lah.
That's
No.
the thing. Who will be in
No,
charge?
now no one can.
USA.
Now no one can be trusted.
Oh,
Like legit.
Right. Everybody's just like holding their cards so close to their
Yes.
heart now.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the one other posture and why it seems like now the US is getting a bit more rational is that they are now seeing themselves not as, people who will fight other people's war. They are seeing themselves as the gun store of the world.
Wow.
So they are basically going to ram it. There's this guy called Palmer Luckey, right? He's the guy who founded Oculus Rift.
Oh shit.
So but he founded a new company after he sold it to Facebook called Donroe. And Donroe they are basically weapons manufacturers, and
That's
they just
quite a
go
pivot.
they just go to Taiwan, and then they say, yeah, we can sell it to you.
Pivot.
You know.
You telling me the guy who invented Oculus Rift is now inventing
So
guns?
he looks like Vinny from Vice City. You know the guy?
No
What's his name?
way,
Vinny,
bro.
Vinny.
Like
Tell me
Grand Theft
Palmer-
Auto Vice City.
Palmer Luckey, just like Palmer Luckey.
PALMER. Lucky.
Yeah.
Play GTA too
He
much.
builds things like anti-drone technology, right? He'll create this device where if there's a drone swarm coming,
Shoot
then
the
you just
gun then.
release a EMP,
Bro,
Cool guy. Lucky.
don't look exactly. He kind of looks like the guy that is part of the game lah.
Yeah, it's part of the game, yeah. Yeah, so you're getting a lot of these
Is
guys.
he from Miami?
I have no idea.
He looks like he's
it
from
lah.
The hair.
Florida type
His
of thing.
outfit.
Yeah.
Very beach guy.
Yeah. You
No.
type Anduril, his company. ANDURIL. Yeah, Anduril Industries, yeah, correct.
Wow, bro, this is some Tony Stark real life that thing.
Buy
bro.
the stock.
No. Type the company. No, so the stock is not it's not
Oh,
public yet.
Ayo.
Images go to
Wow. What did
It's a
his
defense
parents
startup.
feed him lah? Way.
yeah.
Apparently his dad name is Donald Lucky.
So he's in Japan, he's in Taiwan. Just use this. When China comes, you better have this. Yeah.
Do you think their fear of China is justifiable? Like as
Not
a-
in the current leadership. I don't think there's anything to fear about the current Chinese leadership.
like Xi Jinping, you shouldn't.
No, because Xi Jinping grew up in war, and they will never want war. President Xi will do everything he can to avoid war.
Oh,
All the talk of like
aggression.
yeah, it's nothing. The question is not President Xi. The question is
Who's after?
people his generation, yeah, which is his like his daughter is like, I think it's your age. His daughter,
President Xi?
yeah, President
President Xi's daughter? She hot?
I know you click in lah. I know she went to Harvard lah. That one I know.
Bro, I got two questions actually. Like, not the hot lah. Okay, I'm just. I sound like boy gay lah.
North Korea's daughter. North
Is she
Korea's
hot?
daughter. Not
No
bad.
way lah.
Not bad.
Wow, she quite babe, bro.
What's
she-
her age? Can you see her
She's
age?
hotter lah.
What's her age?
She's got
Imagine that face
Oh,
starting.
yeah.
Bro, 92, bro,
Hey.
92 kid. You see more picture?
What's
Just for research purposes lah. Wow, surprisingly, her eyes bigger than the father. Ah.
So is that a face of someone that would start a war?
Do you think she would?
No.
even
I
take
mean,
over?
no, I'm saying what I'm saying is that generation when they're saying like grandchildren always forget what their grandparents say. So it will they
Wait, this is President Xi's daughter or granddaughter?
daughter.
Oh yeah, daughter. She went to Harvard some more.
Yeah.
Wow. the daughter, an only child.
Wow, only
Wow.
child.
One
He
child
didn't
policy
bury
mah,
her.
right?
Same like North Korea, only
One child
child.
policy.
Yeah, he didn't bury her.
Yeah, lor, not bad lah.
Man of value.
Well done. So he won't. They don't have to fear him. So, but I think I told you this before. The way the US work and the way China work very different. Right? So you know this as Chinese people, right? Like when we deal with somebody, right, we like to figure out what their personality is. We like to know what he likes. We like to know a bit of his history. We spend a lot of time to learn,
MBTI.
right? If you look at like
That's their 八字.
one of the key things I learned from anime is how important someone's background is, right? They always tell some backstory.
Childhood
When you
trauma.
look at this guy, it's a bit weird, right? You know.
Which
But then when
school
you
you
hear the
went?
backstory, it's like, oh, okay, you know. So Chinese people, they like to figure out who you are, and then they try to make predictions based on your personality. So they will say, you know what, this guy, it's okay, you know, we can trust this guy because he's this, that. So we like to make that kind of predictions. And so what happens is that we are good at figuring out a lot of like different human beings, how they work together, you know, things like that. The way US thinks is very different. To them is we don't judge you on your your personality. We judge you on capabilities.
Oh.
So if you are, let's say, a very strong person, right? The Chinese will say, yeah, but you know, he's actually a really nice guy. He likes children, you know, he takes care of. He's a very gentle guy. So nothing to worry about him. But to the US is no, he's strong. So we treat him as a threat. That's it.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So when they look at China, a lot of Chinese people don't realize, hey, you look, guys, we are not, we don't like to be as aggressive as, you know, European powers in the past. You know, so what do you have to be afraid? They'll tell US or whatever. But the US looks at, oh, how many
China
missiles
threat.
you have, how big is your army, how capable is your technology, and then on those capabilities, they will assume, okay, we got to prepare for this.
Oh,
Valid
that's-
point. I remember
Yeah.
in Russia also what was that called? The Cold War.
Cold War, yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a standoff also.
Yeah, correct. So they had an agreement, like you have X amount of warheads, we have X amount of warheads, right? So that's how the US thinks, right? Because their thinking is, yeah,
Your
okay lah.
future.
Yeah, today your personality
You're
is,
weak.
is
You're
chill.
weak. Yeah, you're chill.
But what about
Yeah,
tomorrow?
chill. But what about tomorrow? So that's the way they think. Whereas China says, no, if you look, we will never.
Hey, last week I chill.
Yeah.
Last year I chill. I
Yeah.
chill next year,
What-
bro.
yeah, what you
Hey.
thinking? Yeah.
Hey,
then
not with those
tomorrow-
guns, motherfucker. That's how they feel lah.
Yeah,
okay,
tomorrow
okay, okay.
you may make up, change your mind. Like,
Oh.
Because it's
Yeah.
like you can see it in business so, right? Like when it comes to Chinese people, we can do business on a handshake. Right? You know, I've interacted, I've grown up with you or whatever, you know, it's okay lah, you know, Chincha, you know, you just pay me at the end of the month, whatever, right? But to the US, it's like black and white, like where's the paper? Because we assume, yeah, today, you know, we're good friends.
It's very capitalist lah. Actually,
Because this
They are like that, right?
Mm.
Like
yeah.
they think how people will act based on how they will act.
On their capabilities.
also on the like things like their marriage, right? Like prenups.
Yeah.
They will think of like, hey, in future,
What
what
if,
if he
yeah?
changes?
today we are happily married
Yeah.
after. Today happy ending. Tomorrow
Yeah, but but Chinese we are like
to be
it's okay.
continued.
Yeah. Yeah, like season 2. You change already.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's a mindset. It's a mindset
Yeah,
difference.
no wonder.
Actually, wait, I want to follow up my two questions. Actually, the first question is, if so the I think now what, January 9, right? I think a week ago there was an address by President Xi about China in the next few years or of that sort lah. Something to motivate them. It's very communist as shit lah, right? If you
Yeah,
watch
yeah.
it, it's like people marching in a line and you know like
Yeah.
people in northern China waving flags like, oh
Yep,
my
yep.
god, you know. And he says that by 2027, Taiwan will be seized. There's a unifying project, sorry, and it will be complete by 2027. So, do you think after this Venezuela incident, President Xi will follow through with the 2027 unifying plan with Taiwan?
I doubt it. Yeah.
Why do you say? Do you think he will forego his 2027?
So-
He'll be like, hey, yeah, actually chill lah, 2028 lah maybe.
So, no, honestly, that okay. So the US response to this is like, you know, that Palmer guy. When he goes to Taiwan and sell weapons, or go to Japan and sell weapons and all that, right? He tells them, look, maybe it will happen, maybe it won't, but we are going to create capabilities, the speed at which we create these capabilities and products for you, on the assumption that 2027 will be the year they decide to invade Taiwan. So again, it's back to the American mindset where I mean, I don't know whether they're going to debate, but we're going to assume they are. So we're going to jalan like that. But as to whether So this is me, the Chinese speaking, right? Do I predict
2027
Xi?
though.
The answer is no.
What do you think he's going to say in 2027 when they're not unified?
He's gonna spin it lah. That you're gonna say, yeah, actually they're already unified. I don't know lah. Maybe culturally unified.
Yeah,
they
because
cook
if they
something up
want to
lah.
do it in 2027, they are not going to tell people that that's when they'll do it.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Maybe it's a divergent plan.
Well, even if they tried, right? If let's say
It happened 2026. What the fuck?
Yeah, it happened earlier. haha.
because he's president for life, and the thing is, he's already like coming up to 80. I think he's mid 70s, somewhere there. So he may want to rush things. Who knows, right? But just think about what is required to invade Taiwan, right? You need to use drones. You need to use the army.
You need a lot, bro.
You need a lot, right? And
Yeah, you
the
gotta-
thing is, everyone can see you coming from a mile.
Yeah,
And it's an amphibious landing.
yeah,
That means you have to go on ocean to land.
yeah.
And that whole process, there's already like people people attacking you.
If
But
I'm not-
funny enough, I spoke to a military expert. If they invade today, actually they have the best chance.
Wait, January 9 today.
No, if they invade
The earlier
today, the
they
earlier
invade.
they invade, because they have numbers, right? So now that technology for military is improving, numbers matter less already. But it still matters now because a country's army is still reliant on people.
It'll only go down.
Oh, I see.
But that once it's shrinking, that means a small country can have very
It's not
capable-
reliant on your population anymore.
Yeah. So that's why
Oh.
and even if it wasn't a tech issue, right? Just the whole all the casualties that will be involved just to deal with Taiwan alone is already difficult already.
you need to deal with Japan,
But then
with
with Japan, the US, right?
Then-
All of that.
I think a lot of the neighboring countries also would be like, yo, I don't want to be
Yeah.
a part of this, so I don't want to deal with you.
And-
so
and-
economically, you would suffer. But they were stockpiling a lot of reserves, China and the.
Yeah, so is Taiwan. Right? And the ratio is 10-1, meaning right, everything, because Taiwan is playing home court and Taiwan is the defense. If you know anything about military, the defensive guys, especially when they are when they have a protective mode, in this case it's
the ocean.
right, it's the ocean. It's a 10-1. So whatever Taiwan has, you must have 10 times more. Then you can overcome. So a lot of resources will be poured.
Just to inhabit this one little island. And then when you inhabit, you probably have to kill a lot of people.
Yeah.
And then the resources are going to be screwed up.
And they're watching Russia, who is not necessarily bad when it comes to military. And you see how much they're struggling with Ukraine. And Ukraine is open land, It's open land and,
They even have like trains directly to them.
yeah.
Like logistics was previously not an issue.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
yeah. But wait, sorry to segue. I have a second question. But why is it so difficult then for Russia to invade Ukraine?
Oh, this one I'm not to learn about.
Yeah,
this show,
Harold,
but
no
I
problem.
think it's generally wars are very difficult to win, right? And one of the reasons why China will not invade is because
Bro, I actually got this new sponsor for the podcast.
Aiyo, got advertisement.
It's called Merryfair Chairs. So many things to say about it, bro. Aiyo, don't lah. Sure got a lot of points on. Chill, only got 2 points. Basically guarantees you free from back pain, like a recline. And on top of that, 100% made in Malaysia. R&D all the way to your doorstep. Made in Malaysia. The whole thing made in Malaysia. Yeah, man. Crazy, right? If you guys are interested in this fine specimen of a product, Merryfair Chairs, click the link in the description below. You know you want to. Just click. Click it. Don't forget to enjoy the rest of the podcast. Love you long time.
I know a lot of people in China, they study their history a lot. And if you know, doesn't matter which dynasty you choose, the minute China invades people or get themselves involved outside their
The land.
landmass, right? They even if they win, they lose. Because, like for example, Japan, after the Sengoku period, right, which is, if you've heard of this guy called Nobunaga Oda, this famous Japanese guy, when he died, Toyotomi, his replacement, took over, and then they decided to invade China. So they went through Korea. Okay, so at that time was the Ming Dynasty, and the Ming Dynasty responded by sending troops over to help Korea to fight, and they won. Right, it's called the Imjin War. They beat the Japanese, and the Japanese went back. The minute that happened, right, that was the end of the peak of the Ming Dynasty. They had to the coffers became less. There's less money. Everything became more difficult.
It's like their resources were completely drained after winning the war. So by winning the war, you still lose the war in a way, like, that's what you're saying.
Yeah, so because like Chinese people, they have this military doctrine, like Sun Tzu, right? Like what you call that?
The war of art.
Yeah, there's this famous way, like the worst kind of war is like
War.
physical war, right? 'Cause they like information war, they like psychological war, they like
Economical
financial war and all that. But the last one is that. And so generally Chinese people, we do all these other things except that one. But the thing is, at some point you have to do that, right? But when they do it, then they'll always see it negatively, right? It's too expensive, it's all of this. And so when they do it, that's when the society kind of like disagrees. Because unless it's a swift and stunning victory, right? A lot of people in China will be questioning, like,
why you not effective?
why you're not effective?
Wow, so client, bro.
Right? And yeah.
It's so client, don't you think? It's such a Chinese client thing, right?
Typical
It's like,
What's the ROI?
Yeah. So and then it's like
The win
and
rate,
then
the
if you
win
fail,
rate.
so then what if you fail?
Yeah. You
Right?
feel how?
Gone
Then
lah.
my money gone.
You success
Right.
also get a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Win,
So
get
that's why
nothing. We lose, get nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So like that's why China, their approach has always been to try and get the Taiwanese themselves to realize unification is the only path. Because as you economically
Bro, that is
integrate-
some bad communication, bro.
Right.
That is some bad. That's like I
No,
want to
no.
flirt with the girl, but I say, hey, you
Yeah.
a bitch.
No, but yeah. So what
Like
they're
me.
what
What
they're
are you talking,
what
bro?
they're really saying is that look, I want this girl, right? But I can't use the military method. I can't punch her to like me. So I can't do that.
I can't kidnap her.
I can't kidnap her, right?
Yeah.
So I need to make her love me. How do I make her love me? Money, lor. So I integrate our economies, right? I get Foxconn or this Taiwanese
That
companies
is the
to come set up.
most Chinese thing to do.
Yeah.
That's the most Chinese thing to
Correct.
do. Every Chinese guy will never say, right, yeah, I think I just need to be nice. No, I need to wear 5 different
But you see,
Rolexes.
exactly.
Just
But-
keep throwing at money.
I just need to bang into her bank.
How
account.
much is the dowry?
Yeah.
That is my question.
exactly right. But they don't realize the
The
key
girl-
to the Taiwanese heart is democracy.
Yeah, bro.
Or is it
And
food?
right now,
Or that.
right now, the youth in Taiwan, they're like, no, it's not. Yeah, sure, we can make money in Taiwan, but we don't want in China, but we don't want to. We're different, right? We don't want to integrate. We're not the same.
I have the
people.
perfect
There's
analogy
nothing,
for this, Basically, this guy, right, wants to date this girl,
Yeah.
But the girl's like, I just want to be a free chick, man.
Yeah.
I just want to dance.
I like you enough
Yeah,
to
yeah.
be your friend, but I don't want to
Yeah.
be a chick. I want to be with
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, let's just let's
correct.
just hang. And
Yeah.
then China's like, no,
I want-
girlfriend.
Yeah.
Go
Exactly.
hard or go home.
Taiwan like, 不要.
Yeah.
要做你的男朋友。
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Such
you
a
guys-
one-way relationship.
So China thought that they could do
If
these
you're
things.
China,
lah.
what will you do? Sometimes I think if I'm China, right, how can I persuade them?
I would
Actually,
not.
to be fair, I think
Yeah.
China is doing all they can already, right? They are always trying to emphasize and show, hey, because really, who are they fighting with for over Taiwan? They're fighting the US. And when I say fighting, I don't mean like true war. I mean by when it comes to the heart of the nation, right?
Yeah.
The Taiwanese, they grew up on America and Japan, and they see the cultural stuff, they see the way of life, they watch the movies, whatever, lah, right? And if you go to Taiwan, a lot of the people there are very Americanized, right? They have American sounding names, things like that. So
Fish.
yeah, whatever, right?
Fish liao.
Yeah.
Democracy.
Exactly, right? Yeah, democracy and all these things. So the way China go about it is by highlighting, see your
China
current
is-
boyfriend, right, is like you
Not that
see
good lah.
democracy, you see they're so
Bro.
messy,
Yeah.
but Taiwan is not buying it.
I'm
lah,
always
right?
here for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he always treat you like that. You
Bro,
see.
So that's why my
God.
my big prediction is, you see, actually, I'm a believer in one China policy. I believe that it is inevitable that they actually go back together.
Even Malaysians, right? I get invitation from my China friend like, when do you come back to China?
For what?
Wow,
Okay,
that's
that's a
Like,
different.
like for real,
That's
they
fucking
want
wild.
the Chinese unification. That's what they are
Yeah.
selling.
Right.
The root. Your root, you are all Chinese.
Boomers also have the same sentiment.
Yeah.
The same.
But yeah, so
It's never gonna
yeah,
happen,
but so with Taiwan, I think one day they will reunify,
You think so?
but they will reunify when China finally decides to become a democracy. By the time that happens, then the Taiwanese will say, okay, look, maybe we can be we can be a
Fuck buddies.
subsidiary of China.
Sorry, that's a much better word.
We can be one system, one country, two system, like Hong Kong, like that. Then we can consider, because now is a democratic country.
Wait,
So
what?
I believe that will be a more likely scenario.
I cannot imagine. Sorry, you were saying something.
No, I'm just curious, like why Hong Kong can do the two system thing.
They're
but-
not happy.
Oh, okay.
though.
So Hong Kong is a bit
But
different.
Taiwan cannot. Like why?
Okay, so it's a bit different because Hong Kong used to belong to the British.
Oh yeah.
So basically, they fought a war. Long story short, the British say, lend us
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong for 100 years.
Yeah.
So then in 1997, Britain gave it back to China. And to China's credit, they have this one country, two systems. Also, pretty much Hong Kong maintained as
Hong Kong lah.
it is. And then, but now not so since 2014. But that's why. But Taiwan is different. Taiwan is the ROC, the Republic of China. They also claim, people forget, they also claim the mainland. So the CCP claims Taiwan, but Taiwan claims the mainland up to today. That's why if you ask both of them, they both believe in the one China policy. They believe in reunification. Yeah.
So
Two-way
confused.
street.
Yeah.
But
so-
they believe they are the boss lah, basically.
Yeah, they should be the one in charge. That's why the US also believes in one China policy. It's the official position. The whole world say we should have one China. The real question is which China is the one. And so the US choose to guys, you all decide.
So
lah
you
which one.
basically telling me this whole time, right? They were twins lah.
Yeah,
But
They're
just
like-
who is the older twin only lah, basically.
they are the
OG.
same. They are same people. They're same people.
OG.
Yeah.
That's it.
But one is a more free spirit twin lah.
Yeah,
And one is a more like
Richer.
conservative, go to the library and then
Study hard.
yeah, lor.
but the quite weird how one twin wants to fuck the other twin, that thing situation going on lah.
Yeah, so I mean that's why back to your question, right? Like I really doubt that 2027 is the year, because basically nothing is aligned yet for China to go ahead.
I have a second question. Second question is there will be a day where Xi Jinping will step down, or unfortunately something happens to him, because that's what happens in life, right? Everybody will eventually leave this world. So when that happens, do you foresee the next person that is going to step into that position of power be a person that will be on that same page of reunification?
That's a very difficult question to answer, because if you know the way Chinese politics works, you actually know very little about the replacements and the whole squad one.
Oh,
And you
is
don't even
it?
know whether the squad will still be around. Like, just fun fact, right? Like, there are 5,000 people guarding President Xi. That's his
5,000?
entourage.
How do you know whether the 5,000 can be trusted?
No, so exactly. So that's why every 4 months they swap the entire 5,000.
Bro, that is ridiculous, bro.
Yeah. They just swap it out and then
Ooh, that's
Right.
like
Wait,
the
wait,
Gui
wait,
Fei-
what?
These are the
Gui
people,
Fei.
right? They everywhere President Xi sits, he get up, they will wipe the chair, they will wipe everything. If he use the spoon, they will wipe the spoon, or they'll take the spoon away and throw away, because they don't want anyone to get his DNA, something like that. Yeah. So that's part
Yeah,
of
I
his
heard about
entourage.
this.
spoons have been...
Yeah, but to them it's not, it's worth it lah. So why it's very difficult is because there's very little information, right? Recently, Trump was like joking, right, with fellow Americans. He was just saying like, "Wow, do you see the Chinese?" He didn't say henchmen, like, say the people with President Xi. I asked them a question, they didn't even answer. I wish JD was like that. It's like very straight up. They don't answer. Then it's like, "Are you gonna answer me?" Oh, it's like, then President Xi was like, "I will do the answering," something like that. So it's very, very little information. And another way I can explain this is, the previous president, which is Hu Jintao, right? You can ask the same thing. You ask, okay, what is President Xi like, or Xi Jinping like at that point in time? No one knows,
Who was he?
right? No one knows, like, who was predicting Xi Jinping would be the next one when Hu Jintao was the president? No one knew.
So they will hide all their so-called
How was he even elected?
mentees.
No, they were chosen. So they are elected. So technically,
It's a democracy lah.
it is a democracy. It's just chosen among a few people only. Just
It's a,
You-
it's a
Very
mini...
small democracy.
Yeah, very tiny democracy. Yeah. So that's why it's very difficult. But looking at the trend, it all depends on how President Xi ends his
tenure.
tenure. If he ends it in such a way that it's at least people think it's quite smooth and he did a good job, then the next guy will want to emulate him. So it'll be more of the same. But if he does it in such a way where, the people are suffering and things like that, then you will have someone more like President Xi's
Reverse.
the previous guys before President Xi. So it really depends.
Do you think a lot of mainland Chinese would perceive China to be a place where they are thriving or not?
Well, you see, that's another difficult question because you can never really be honest, right? If you're in China, you know, it's the saying, right?
But deep down-
if you ask the Chinese,
What
it's
about
like,
your
hey,
China friend?
yeah, like China.
They are quite positive about their country.
Is it?
Yeah, I in Singapore, I have like a lot of China friends.
And they're very like, yeah, man.
yeah, they're
yeah.
like China is okay, but they just see like
But
if
how many
they say they-
percent of China is that?
Yeah, I don't know
Whoa.
because I only see China's people who are like overseas
in Singapore. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and especially in Singapore, there are a lot in Singapore. So
Yeah.
Strangely
they-
enough,
they
my
are
one
70% positive.
or 70%.
Yeah, not they know their weaknesses. Like when we question them, this kind of hard question, they're like, oh yeah, we know we're not perfect. They are very open about like
Yeah.
their flaws, which is shocking. Like they're very open. They are not
Mm.
defensive at all.
But yeah, people like around our age or
Yeah.
slightly older, right? Not the
Yeah,
ones in
people
charge, right?
around like our age, like 30, 20s. Yeah.
And then because of one China policy, people our age are like the minorities or like they're not that big of a.
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But you know, like it's the joke lah, right? Like, oh, what do you think of your country? They say, I can't complain.
Yeah.
I can't complain.
Yeah.
Whoa.
They rarely complain about
Blink
their country.
twice if you do complain.
Yeah.
But if you bring out a flaw in the country, like then they'll be like, oh yeah, that's why not our one child policy make this happen. Like we are very stressed and all that. But it's also good lah. Like they see the flip
Yeah.
side in everything.
But
So,
of course, the interesting thing is that they're able to say it in, you know, Tanjong Katong or
yeah. They're staying in all
Raffles
the
place lah.
expensive place in Singapore.
you try to say it in Hubei lah, you know, I mean, or on Weibo.
That's the
you know.
thing, because these are the privileged ones that manage to
Yeah.
get out, ma.
Yeah.
You know, and
Those
I've
with higher education.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I've met a few that are higher education ones that say like I never want to go back, lah.
I'll explain it this way lah, the situation. Okay, so you know, people want to make money in China, and so whenever you got a place hungry to make money, you get scammers, right? So people put stuff out, you know, in banners. You know, you can make this amount and all that. The scam number, which is usually a number that is like interesting and it's out there, but it won't happen lah, right? It's a crazy number. It's 10,000 RMB per month, which is roughly 5.8k ringgit. That's the scam number, right? So what are they actually getting, right? If they try to work in these places,
Yeah,
it's a lot
man.
less.
It's a lot less than 5,800.
And
right?
China is in the process of going from developing to going more developed, and that's the scam number, right?
5,008 is the scam number from
Right.
a developing country, lah.
That is a scam number. Yeah, so like it's not that they're bad. It's just the country is very big and there's a lot of people, and it's a very difficult country to
manage.
lah.
It's not
So-
even singular culture, you know. That's the
Yeah.
thing, you know. It's multicultural within China, right?
Yeah, but one
So it's-
dominant one lah,
Yeah.
to be specific lah.
Yeah, but it's quite difficult to sort of ensure everybody's happiness in a way, lah. You know, because there's so many rural states within this big ass country, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to ask also, how would you even revolt, right? You're in a kampong, right? Like, what are you gonna do? Scream? Like,
Well, part
yeah, like
of their problem is because Chinese people, the Chinese especially, they're naturally very ambitious one. They're very like all or
Go
nothing.
getter.
So how that plays out is that in a way they cannot live and let live among themselves. Okay, they can live and let live with the Indians or whatever, but among themselves they cannot. They have this fetish, right, that China must always be unified. Right, but you see, like Europe never had that. I mean,
Yeah.
they occasionally they had that, but you know, a Spaniard understands that. Look, I'm Spanish and he's French. We're not going to say eye to eye. We have like a common heritage, right? Like the Roman
that
Catholic
everybody's
Church. We have a common like
Currency.
common currency. All this, right?
you like bread.
Yeah, but we are different, right? And if you look at Spain and France, they're separated by a mountain,
yeah.
right? Which is the Pyrenees mountain, right? So, but the Chinese are very different, you know. They cannot see that. To them, is no, we must be one.
It's our culture, right? Like we always talk about our family is
Yeah.
family first.
Yeah, but
like we always
but-
like, oh, no matter how toxic our relative is, it's okay lah. We
Yeah.
forgive them because relative, right?
Yeah,
But for
yeah.
Angmo, it's like westernized. Maybe they're like individualists.
yeah, they're
They're
like,
like, why should we force ourselves?
yeah, my
to-
uncle, like, he scam
you
people,
know?
bro. He's not my uncle, lah. You know, I think that's what we do. But in
Yeah.
Asia, they're like, last time he
But he's still
scam,
my uncle lah.
It's
Yeah,
okay
you know.
one
forgive
lah. He changed already.
and forget.
Yeah.
So they have to be united lah. And that is I feel like that's the weakness. Because if they all treat it like singular provinces, one like Shenzhen itself can be a country, right?
Yeah, man.
Right? Like,
Yeah.
why can't they just operate a bit different? But
Like the United States of China.
in a way, yeah.
Actually, China has so many things they can do.
Right.
Invading Taiwan, to me lah, I feel like you got time because you got so many things to
can't
do. That's why,
It'll be so risky.
yeah.
If you fail, that's it.
Yeah.
And when I say that's it, I don't mean you, President Xi, now don't get to be president. That's not what I mean. I mean the entire legitimacy of the CCP is gone. Because last time, right, the CCP was held up by two things. One is nationalism, so all the pride, all the things that we talk about. And the second thing is the economy. Right? People got rich, their house prices went up and all that. That is gone already. House prices are tanking, jobs are super difficult, PhDs are driving Meituan, the food delivery. The economy is kind of like not really there already, right? It was chugging along, right? So the last thing is the nationalism, right? The whole the pride thing. And if you fail in Taiwan, that's it. Like the entire everyone will doubt the CCP.
They'll be like, I thought this was the way.
Yeah, and the dangerous part about this is that if a US president messes up, people doubt him, they vote him out. Maybe there'll be riots here and there, whatever. But in China, you all speak Mandarin,
Yeah.
right? It's Taluan,
I don't know what that means.
No,
It's
it's
big chaos,
big
right?
chaos.
Oh.
It's like
Disaster.
who will be then it's basically a Game of Thrones situation.
很危险啦。
If CCP falls, right, then
You have nothing already lah.
It's Game of Thrones. It's just who's gonna be number one.
It's not even 中国 lah, it's just 国 lah.
Many lor.
Actually, not even 国, it's just 中
Small G lor, right?
Savage.
塞国
So
小国
that is their
or 没有国
yeah. You
Because
know, like
Chinese a lot about
美
face
国
also, man.
Yeah.
Like we put face in front of the
exactly.
family. 美国
Like when California say they want to secede, then people are like, yeah, piss off lah, go. I don't need you guys.
Yeah.
Then we won't have any more facts or whatever, in the country, something like that. They say stuff like that, but in China it's different, right? You can't.
I think they bank too much on that system lah. That's the thing, right?
What to do? They're balls deep with it, but it's like,
Bro,
they can't how to reverse this one.
yeah, man.
China has so many problems itself
Yeah.
and so much potential. So I feel like focusing on Taiwan is a bit like,
Yeah, quite weird also.
why don't you take
No,
care of yourself?
No, actually, I think the focus on
Yeah.
Taiwan is because it's like the Venezuela topic, right? It's kind of the reverse Taiwan. Because they were saying that they wanted to have a reverse Taiwan. Ma. So if you really think about it, technically, if the metaphor here, I suppose, is if the US was so power, right, at going to Venezuela and say, pop, pop, just get the guy in 3 hours, right? How come China not power enough to pop, pop, and get the Taiwanese fella out lah? To show like and flex, be like, you see, I also can do.
No, but see, that's the thing.
But they cannot do.
Even if they manage to do it, that actually backtracks their progress because now they are all about confirming to Taiwanese that the Chinese are not good leaders, that they will do things like that.
Yeah.
Because they have to win the heart of
Basically, they rape the girl instead of date the girl lah.
yeah.
Mm.
So you
No bueno.
yeah, so that's why to Chinese credit, they also know this. They're like, okay, so like money is not working now. So like, what's
I
next?
think they want to play long-term game.
That's what they want.
They're not like, I want to use time to win your heart. So they are like, since they got other problems to focus in their own country, why not they just put this as
And
like
it's just like
a lower priority? Not
Yeah.
like it's not in their list, but the
Yeah.
to-do list is a lot.
yeah, and it's just kind of ngam how like Venezuela was the mirror of this.
Well,
But at the
technically it's
same
Cuba lah, but yeah, Venezuela is still like something. Like that.
Konon near
Yeah.
the park, the base near, or that's exact the capability of
Yeah,
right. So it was just so ngam that Venezuela was a failing state. That's why they can come in and do it also lah. Technically, right?
Yeah.
And they couldn't do it with Taiwan. Taiwan not exactly failing to the point of like, top last 3 worst economies in the world, right?
And also financial gain, right? Like Venezuela, US will gain.
Yeah.
That's why it's more like
It's more
there's
worth
a
it, no?
higher desire to get it.
Yeah.
But for Taiwan one, for China now, it's like
Mm.
actually gain also not much
Yeah.
gain, like
Aren't we also like assuming the effort that China is putting in? Like, let's say they have like, 1,001 things that they're doing, then maybe, taking over Taiwan is just like one of the small
Side
little
quests.
side projects that they
yeah.
have.
When
and
you have
like,
time to a bit,
then
Yeah.
they know like, okay, we got these 1,000 other things to focus on. But at the same time, let's maybe
Park that aside first.
we publicize or we make it like as if Taiwan is a big project.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah,
because it might be beneficial to them if the world thinks taking over Taiwan is a big project.
Oh, it's a diversion, bro. Oh my god.
US pours resources into defending, into military, they spend their effort, their resource, like the manpower, their meetings, like all this precious time, energy,
spread to
effort
Taiwan.
to just on like Taiwan while they're like,
That's why we like economy. We all like fuck it lah. We all go do all the tech stuff, sell
yeah,
stuff.
they're like,
Xiaomi.
suddenly,
whatever.
Tesla is no longer the
Yeah,
the biggest
BYD.
EV in the world.
Oh,
Suddenly,
shit, it was a
suddenly
diversion,
iPhone
bro.
just
Thanks.
So it's all just prioritization problem.
No, it's diversion
And
tactic, bro.
divergent.
Everybody playing diversion tactic, bro.
No, diverge your enemy to
Oh.
deprioritize their stuff, and then they prioritize the wrong stuff.
Yeah lah.
And then after you deprioritize the
Yeah,
stuff that
bro.
they prioritize, and then
Bro,
it
this
go confused.
everybody is just trying to fool each other with something else, bro.
maybe.
This world, this is the world, this human. We are trying to fool each other, put out a facade.
But I have a final question. Where do you see Venezuela then after this? Do you think the US will occupy it and then like
I
you
don't
need? I feel like you're missing some freedom, bro.
Very, very difficult. It depends on how what
Extract already,
lessons-
right? So like,
No, it depends on how the US, what lessons that the US learned from Iraq and Afghanistan. So a lot of people say that, for example, the US invading Iraq, invading Afghanistan, all these countries, invading Vietnam, these are all mistakes. As a Malaysian or even as a third party, right? Actually, these invasions are, I know I'm going to catch flack for this. Actually, they were all like quite beneficial to the world. Like, for example, Vietnam, right? They invaded in the 70s. Today, we Malaysians may not feel this, right? But communism was a real threat. Right? You just talk to Malays and you just tell them how much they hate communists and they associate Chinese people with communists, right? And it's a dirty word. And they were very worried because these were genuine threats back in the day. And the US got involved in Vietnam because of the whole dominoes theory, right? If one country becomes communist, then the neighbors become communist and they will slowly infect the whole world. And so they set out to stop the domino effect. And one of the ways they do it is by invading Vietnam lah. Now, Lee Kuan Yew from Singapore himself has said that, thank God they invaded Vietnam because it bought us, the rest of Southeast Asia, time to develop.
yeah.
While Vietnam continues to, just chill. Because in Southeast Asia, the only country that has domination genes is the Vietnamese. They're the only one capable of controlling whole of Southeast Asia.
Yeah, they're
Really,
super
They have
strong.
that. They have that gene, right? They have the capabilities. Their history has a lot of war as well.
Yeah,
So
small.
if there was one country,
small is their thing. They are like the
petite people, like elves.
Yeah, they're like
Sorry, like dwarfs.
They're dwarf. They're like dwarf. They're very strong.
yeah,
That's how
it-
they've been.
if you take Southeast
Yeah.
Asia and you cut it in half, right? Everybody in the north are like war and hard people, and everybody in the south just trade, complain about food. That's it. That's all we do. That's it. Like Indonesia is not going to control us. Malaysia, Singapore, nothing. Brunei, we all just Philippines. Just
Chilling.
kumbaya.
We just
But-
vibing.
Yeah, we vibing, right? But the like Cambodia, Vietnam, all these guys, right? They're like
Burmese.
much more. Yeah, they're much more hardcore, right? The mindset.
Yeah, actually, the way they talk also feel like they're gonna fuck you up, man.
So, from a Malaysian perspective, aren't you grateful that the US got involved because they went in? Sure, they
They
were
big dick energy
clumsy,
the shit out of it, lah.
but they stopped Vietnam, right? And the same with Iraq. If Saddam Hussein really defeated like Iran, let's say, and he controlled the entire Middle East, then it'll be not beneficial, especially to the US. So the invasion itself and the war there's some justification for that.
But it's also keeping them as top dog, lah. You know what I mean?
For sure. But the problem with the US is that they went into all of this and they tried to build a democracy. They tried to nation build. You should do this. This is your constitution. We
They
write
didn't
for you.
just stop communism.
Yeah.
They tried to breed democracy.
And the reason why they did that is because they saw, you know what? We did the same with Germany and Japan. And look how successful they are.
Not very.
Iraq.
actually, yeah.
Iraq and all that will be super successful like Japan, because they wrote their constitution, I don't know how much with the German one they did, right? So, but they forgot that, at least Japan and Germany, they already had like industrialization and they're at a different level compared to
And they're a
Iraq
different
or-
type of cultural thing also.
Yeah,
lah,
exactly,
I
right?
think. Yeah.
So what have they learned their lessons from those when they go into Venezuela, right? I think the right approach for them is to just go in and they say, I don't really care who you elect. I don't care what
make
you
sure you do it right.
Make sure you are our friends, that's it. And then make sure American companies come here, we get a good deal, we make money.
But he know impossible when he's friending with all US like enemies, right? Like
Who?
Venezuela is friend ally now, like friend.
Oh, yeah,
with
so
all them.
only
That's why
the
he-
that guy
Maduro,
that got his-
so
that's why
correct.
you know it won't work. This strategy of like asking him to like
Correct.
hey,
So you just go
let's
in and take
come-
him out. Then
yeah.
they're basically telling whoever wants to replace him, you come on. Now, it will be a mistake for the US if they come in and they start lecturing and telling the next leader, this is how you should run your
Freedom.
democracy or whatever.
Then GG lah. So it's how they do it lah, basically.
Yes, correct. And the beauty for the US is they have a smaller but pretty successful case study, which is Chile. Chile is the wealthiest and most economically productive South American country.
Fun
in
fact,
the
it's the
world.
longest country in the world. So
Is longest. And they are like the second or third largest producer of wine, right? So they have like small country, I think
Wow.
few million, it's less than 10 million people, very successful. So they actually went in, if I'm not mistaken, they got rid of one of the communist leaders and General Pinochet took over Chile. And he was a dictator. He's a brutal dictator, right? Not no human rights, whatever, nothing. But the US didn't meddle and try to say you should do this, do that. And
because
they become-
capitalism, bro.
Yeah. See, you don't hear about Chile and everything. Like there's no beef with Chile.
Only Sanchez.
Yeah. So yeah. The only thing you know of is
The piano.
Alexis Sanchez. Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, it's a manual
So the US already has case studies. They have a history of like success, right? So they just do to Venezuela what they do or didn't do to
yeah.
Chile, and then they'll be fine. Then they will slowly turn Venezuela into an ally, and then
We really take peace for granted. I just want to say, like, just imagine you're in Venezuela right now.
yeah.
Like, oh my God, another country just came in, took my big boss out, and then we are happy because he was corrupted,
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel, like,
What
dude,
about our ex-PM? If that time he kena
yeah, for sure, right?
we sure
But this one is not like the planes are and then like extraction, you know what I mean? That one is just like, oh man, you go to jail. This one is like SWAT team, then bomb the thing, go in there, and then
Counter strike.
extraction.
This one just counter strike.
Yeah, basically, right?
Yeah,
the
quite
guy-
clean operation.
You cannot say SWAT. Calling them SWAT would be an insult because these are Delta Force guys. These are
It's like elite, right?
these are like
Yeah, so can you imagine like a big like America comes to Malaysia and extract one minister?
That's cool.
Depends who, right?
I guess.
No, extract to Yam Cha session. Yam Cha only.
Yeah lah,
Talk
but-
to you, bro,
but-
but,
but-
you've been avoiding me, so I finally found you.
Maybe-
That's
maybe.
cool.
But
Like,
I
then
feel-
release back lah. Don't release.
It's just
lah.
like I think the peace element is so crazy, right? You know how everybody, the perception of the country also will change so much if you think about it, right? Something so like, I don't know, like vicious or there's so much malintent. They come in, they take, and then after that you're just like, wow. Are we a stable country? Actually, I would have so many internal questions, A lot of investors would be like, I think maybe don't invest there lah.
That's suddenly my factory disappear.
Yeah,
I
bro.
kena extraction.
How you know? Right?
there's few people in the US immediately after the extraction, within like 12 hours, they paid like $130,000 for a mansion in Venezuela. Then they're like, I'm investing early, man. Yeah, they just went there. They just bought
because
18,000
oil.
square feet. No, because their bad is now because when you are friends of the US and you open up your markets to the US, like it's like one of the easiest way to get rich. It's so easy because you see, right? If you go to China, if you want to sell things to China, right? If you want to make 100,000, out of Chinese people, and let's say they can take like 10% of their income to spend on whatever you have to sell to them, right? You need to find 100 of such people, or thereabouts. You need to sell about 100 to 80 Chinese people to make 100,000 out of them. With the US, it's a dozen, right? You just go there, you sell to 12 people.
Right? I think they have the most.
No, they have
millionaires,
they are not. I mean, you got like places like Singapore, Luxembourg, or Monaco. Not Monaco. I think it's Monaco. Or all these areas where per
Millionaires
capita they are higher,
plenty
lah.
lah.
But there isn't a market in the world where you have like
Such a big
Singapore kind of income, but 300 million people.
Yeah.
All countries at 200 million and above are all poor, or like the best is China, right? Where you have about 12 to 14,000 US dollars a year. But the US is 80, right? So it's easier to sell to people like that. And Americans, they're like,
The
they're
consumerism,
quite,
bro.
yeah, they spend quite easily. They don't question.
They're the biggest consumer in the world.
Yeah, as long as you
They're
don't
willing to
speak with
spend.
some funny accent, they're like, yeah, okay,
That's true.
Yeah. So like it's very easy to get rich if you have like strong
So
connections.
where do we start buying Venezuelan properties?
You can do it now if you want. You
And
can take the risk.
the lucky guy, the stock, not open yet.
Donroe, yeah. But yeah, so the people are like 18,000 square feet cash, take it,
Wow, man.
Yeah.
Just
How much is a ticket to Venezuela, bro? KL to Venezuela. Can you just Google
Caracas,
it?
yeah.
Is it Caracas?
It's
Just come in?
capital
the
lah.
airport still okay? Operational?
It's operational, what?
Operating, a
Yeah.
bit scary,
Wow.
I mean,
No random extraction.
150 planes just went into the country, so I think it's fine.
Yeah.
Damn, man.
Yeah. So
We
it's
should
different
visit
world.
there, lah. We should visit there.
It's a different world. And now the policeman starts to like start using their guns. So
Oh.
That's wild, no?
yeah. And so we'll see like, whether Russia and China wants to do it. Yeah, do
That's-
what,
Bro, we live in such scary times, man. I swear to God, right? I thought in the past, right? Like war is the past, right? It's never gonna happen. Now we're in the midst of like 4 to 5 or 6 wars really concurrently happening around the world.
Yeah.
People
But
have been predicting like World War III will be happening. Although back
Maybe
then
now-
when we read the history book, they will say, oh, no more war. You see, everyone is scared.
Yeah.
But a lot of people still say no, half of the world still want, like not one lah, but still think that war will come back.
funny enough, to your point, part of that perception was led by America. There was this Japanese American guy called Francis Fukuyama. He wrote this book called The End of History. And basically he said with the fall of the Soviet Union, Russia, right?
Yeah.
And now America becoming the sole superpower, everyone will all start becoming enlightened and start to become democratic. And, we're all going to respect human rights because US is number one. Everyone wants to follow the US. Obviously, it didn't happen, lah, right?
Yeah. I think it's like he's a very optimist approach.
Wow,
But-
248K ringgit mad, bro.
But you see, like, because they are so dominant, so they are able to propagate this kind of propaganda to even us, right? So then, to us, when we all grew up in the
peace, no
2000s,
war,
right?
The peace, no war sign.
We all grew up in the 2000s,
Yeah.
Lady Gaga, all these people, right? That's when we grew up. And, it was a peaceful, very peaceful time. There's
If
no,
you're
like,
just using pop music.
yeah.
It's like a connector between us and them.
yeah,
That's
we,
how they introduce the culture and movies.
Exactly.
Like all the things we watch.
yeah, we play video games, we play Game Boy, we use PC or whatever, lah, right? Skype,
Yeah.
Friendster, whatever.
But now I think they don't know what to do to connect more. So it's like war is back. I don't know. Like I my own theory.
What to do this weekend?
Yeah,
a little bit of a war would be fucking
Because like,
nice.
it seems like they like anime more than movie, so I think they are bored of our Western movie.
I think one of the mistakes that Americans think is that you see they think if they make money, then they will behave more like Americans. But not everyone thinks like that. Some people when they make money, they want to cause trouble.
yeah.
So Americans have that
Or
very
like
unrealistic mindset.
the Maslow
sometimes.
hierarchy thing. Like once you
Yeah.
like survival and self-actualization, you will not think about bad stuff like doing harm to others.
Yeah, in a way. So that's why people say that two countries that trade with each other will never go to war because each other's rice bowl.
Interdependent.
But
yeah.
that is completely false. We know in history that a lot of people that go to war with each other is when they have a lot of interdependence.
So weird, right?
Yeah.
Wow, shit, man. This whole time.
Because war is not about resources only, it's about face, it's about all that,
Ego.
Yeah. You see people who fight, like, I mean, in a small way, like, because I'm in the Pokemon TCG market, right? So, no, but it's very funny because you have two suppliers. If they work together, or at the very least, they don't fight, right? Like, everything will be fine. But then they will have public fights and then you complain about, you cannot sell this to that person for this price. Or then they start shit talking and then they start leaking each other's chats and all that. I'm like, what? Don't you guys work together and get rich together? Why are you all fighting each other now? Then I remember, because, even countries who are like connected to each other want to fight each other.
Even siblings.
Yeah,
Like you're living in
exactly.
the same house. Like sometimes you think, why will you fight your parents? They provide you food, but we still dare to fight.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
like sometimes I think about it like, wow, that was very daring of us.
So there's this like
Yeah.
very popular quote, right? You know, if bread and butter cross what you call that? Cross cross borders, guns won't.
Oh.
If bread and butter were to
If food-
Cross borders, yeah. If they
guns
cross
won't
borders, guns won't. Because they were interdependence, ma. That's the saying
Thinking
lah.
Yeah.
But we know it's just completely it's not completely wrong, but it's not always correct.
I think because of technology. Because last time we have to like barter system barter, right? Like we have to rely on each other's. But now with technology, you can like home produce a lot of stuff.
Possible.
So it's like okay for you to like fight with your neighbors.
It could
Because
also
you have your own resources, your own hub. Yeah, there's a lot of factors that make World War happen again. Yeah.
Wow, bro, that's so fucking sad, actually. Thought I'll end this week in peace.
I don't know why, man. I feel it's like kind of exciting, honestly. Low key, man.
It's like watching drama.
Like watching a TV show.
Was Amorim sacking not enough, bro?
United is worse. That's worse, man. This one is very interesting because I feel like because this is actually norm. We think it's not norm because we all born in a period of time where our normal is peace. But
No.
peace is not normal.
What are you talking
You're
about, man?
not. You're not.
Talking about, man? What the hell you saying,
Serious?
brother? No.
No, war.
I was 9 years old. I see 9/11. The fucking 2 planes crash. I'm like, is that normal?
No. But you see, that is
Hamas?
elephant versus rat.
And not at your home ground.
There's elephant versus rat. You understand? Now it's elephant and elephant.
I guess.
Is
Yeah.
Different, right? We have not seen elephant versus elephant for a long time.
Yeah, lah. Like two fellas duke it out and they like,
And like Soviet Union with Russia was elephant versus elephant, but it was kind of like the both of them stare each other and try to scare each other. That's it, right? It's like a Cold War, right? But we've not seen like elephant versus elephant. So we'll see like, how it develops.
We're living in an exciting world.
Sense. That's why another small prediction I'm making is that Malaysia and Singapore will be super close to each other. Because who else do we have?
Hey, but
which will
I thought just now, like 2 minutes ago, we were saying like, even if you're super close to each other.
no, but that's his forecast that Malaysia and Singapore will work together because of this
No. So what I was saying was that when you have interdependence, it's not always true that they will fight. Usually there's a fight because of some sort of phase or some sort of glory or like Athens fought Sparta because one wanted to be the number one in Greece. Look, why are we fighting with Singapore over like the food law? Who is the better? Like
Who's the best nasi lemak?
but we have no military like my military. One thing very interesting that Malaysian or just the government have never flexed the army one. We never say our military
We flex
better
the
than
bomba.
flex the muscles.
We flex bomba.
yeah, the
abang
bomba, lor, right? If you think about it, or we don't compete with Singapore and say our trains is better, right? We just kind of like accept, Singapore.
So everyone
better,
Singapore.
right? Like we are sort of addressing different markets also in our economy, right? We are another one. We are doing more like manufacturing, the lower end, whereas Singapore is more like services. So like we have very little competitive apart from food, and now water is no more an issue because Singapore already has reduced the dependence. So actually, like what's there to fight apart from? Well, the outside world is getting chaotic. We need to help each other. So then we just open doors. And we are seeing the trend now, right? Singapore and Malaysia, I think it's like all-time high relationship, right?
I mean, I don't think they would work with Indonesia as much as they would work with us
For sure.
And also, I think culturally we are more similar because they were part of us also
And half of Singaporeans were Malaysians. Their ancestors.
Yeah.
The family.
Confirm one of them is like Malaysians.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So chances are, I think if you're a smaller country like that also, you wouldn't want a FAFO right?
Basically, you are Singapore and this is one thing they will have to think, right? Like last time when America was top dog, the whole world, right? You can trade from Ireland all the way to Melbourne, the shipping lanes are very safe, right? But with the world getting more chaotic, with more like separate spheres of influence, right? Like your trade will not be as smooth anymore. And so you cannot rely on the global market for whatever raw materials or anything that you want. And so, of course, if you want a lot of raw materials or just physical stuff, right, Malaysia is next door.
Yeah, it's easier lah.
Yeah, and when something happened to Singapore, like someone bomb them. Like, where will the people run? Firstly, it's Johor. Like, if Malaysia don't offer them the shelter,
they already gone, bro.
They are
Yeah.
dead.
They already
That's why
gone.
they have bomb
They
shelter
swim
in
to-
every single house.
Oh yeah, they do.
Swim
Yeah.
to Indonesia, lor. I don't know.
Yeah, Indonesia is far, right? If they don't run to Malaysia, that's their nearest neighbor. Like, that's why there's this proverbs like you need to be friends with your neighbors
bro.
first. Because
Imagine-
anything happen really is there.
Imagine if they really run across the bridge and then you like don't let them. You like,
What the bridge?
what's the toll?
3 times more?
Where's your touch and go?
Where's your SGD today?
SGD, don't want.
Got MYR mo?
Wow.
Yeah, please.
Please. I think most of
Please,
them
yeah.
have 2 currencies.
You start converting now to pay for the toll.
Yeah, at least you know if.
What
bomb-
if they start using one currency? Singapore and Malaysia, same currency.
But if you bomb Malaysia, right, you won't exactly run to Singapore. So
Malaysians
it's kind of
won't
like
No,
that
we
thing,
will run to
Thailand.
we will run to the Pahang, the jungles, all that lah.
Yeah, it's
What
true.
are you
It's
thinking
safe.
of that? I thought run to Thailand.
No, I will run to
That's
like
it.
yeah.
You always
Run
run to
to run.
mountains, one. You always run
Oh,
to
yeah,
mountain
yeah,
area
yeah.
because hard to bomb, hard to find, and then
Yeah.
dangerous. Yeah.
But communism, that's where it happened.
Where?
Yeah, that's
The
exactly what they
forest,
did. lah.
the
Yeah,
forest,
that's
they
what
hide
they
in the
did.
forest.
Yeah, correct. That's why, like Malaysia, we have very elite like forest soldiers.
Elite forest
Yeah,
for
It's true.
communism.
It's
yeah,
true.
our forest soldiers are elite one.
Bro, you go here, Gerakan Has.
Oh,
GGK, yeah.
Yeah, I watched some of the movie before last time on like TV3.
Oh, Gerakan Has them mad. Gerakan Has them mad. But yeah.
So yeah, I think I'm very like yes, of course, globally is not very positive, but I'm very positive in certain pockets. Like, I think Malaysia, Singapore is one very big pocket. I think the US is also one very big pocket, right? Because as the US flex their muscles, they go and organize better deals. They will have more benefits.
Yeah, everyone have their strength and weaknesses.
I wonder where this conversation, how this conversation will be heard, right? In like maybe 5 to 10 years, you know. You know, people like look back at this podcast 2026 and then they listen to this and then they are in that position. I wonder what that position is. So strange, man. It's like if you look at the old videos and then the conversations you have
Yeah.
about the future, you never know what the fuck is going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, so weird. You know, if you're commenting in the future, you should just
Yeah.
comment
Is there
randomly.
any
you know.
time traveler?
No, because when they comment in the future, right, the notification pops up and I'm just like, damn, what did we know?
We
You
need
never
time
know.
traveler.
You never know.
Or maybe they will be like, oh my goodness, everything they said it actually happened.
Bro, today damn crazy, bro.
Ooh.
Today is quite crazy, bro. You know when he said, right, like 美国人,
Yeah.
right? Then we said some, wait, what is it? 美国?
美国.
美国, and then after that it
Guo,
became
then become Guo.
No,
no,
美国 was the last one.
中国. Then after that, no more already ma, no more 国 already ma. Then 美国 lor, bro.
Okay.
Bro, that was crazy, bro.
What about one country rule it all?
One country,
No, as in one, everyone become like
One,
same name. One. There's no
Oh,
other.
we just call one.
Sometimes I think, okay, when you
It's
zoom
called
out,
Earth.
wait, when,
Earth, yeah.
that's why when you zoom out, right, I like, when you zoom out of the earth, right, we are all on earth. Why there is that country?
That's why I'm saying
I
it's
wonder,
damn funny.
I wonder why alien think like, what's wrong with all these
Yeah.
people on the earth?
Yeah,
Are they
yeah.
crazy?
Because you know when you
They're
watch
like
like
bombing each other.
you watch like movies like Guardians of the Galaxy, they just go like, oh, this is planet this, planet
Yeah,
that, right?
yeah.
But no country lah, no state lah, all this one, right? Yeah, 100%. I
But
totally
then even within countries, you have states. You
yeah.
have states.
Sorry. Okay. All right. Thank you for tuning in to Venezuela / superpowers and then / China. If you're from the future, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the video so I'll be reminded lah.
But everyone watching this will be from the future.
Whoa, shit, man.
Whoa.
Talking to you is mad. Bro.
Whoa.
This is a TV show on its own. Bro.
It's
It's
Sheldon.
crazy.
Aphrodite, then this, Hera, Messi, Carlos, nah,